Okay, yes, it was quiet. Hey, everybody, good evening. I was trying to get some music on, but since some of the things that happened last week happened, I thought I'd not do it and hoping and praying that you can hear me. So, uh, let a sister know if you can hear me so I won't be talking to myself inside myself. But this week was a very exciting week. Um, we were able, okay, it's working. I can hear myself on my iPad. Very exciting week. Um, we had what, three teenagers and an extra son in the house, and we made it through cooking, swimming, everything. And so this was a good week. And then I got to go to church Sunday for the first time, and I thoroughly enjoyed church, being in person. I haven't done that since even before the pandemic because I was doing some work on the weekends and I was unable to go. So I was happy to be at church. I was probably almost happy as pastor to be there as he was to see all of us there. But they've been doing a church inside since maybe this March or April, maybe this April, 4 o'clock on Saturday and 10 o'clock on Sunday. And that's Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship. Dr. Tony Evans, for those of you who happen to not know, but I don't know how you couldn't if you've been around me any amount of time. But once again tonight, as I always say on the show, we looking to have people tell their stories who may not have the chance to, tell their stories in some outlets. Or maybe there's someone in my audience who needs to hear the particular stories because as we've moved around, I've met some interesting people. And now that I've gotten in on Clubhouse, I've really met some cool people. And so some of them have been the ones that I've been interviewing here, along with other friends and stuff of mine. But tonight's no different. We have this cool young man on tonight, and he's going to be telling his story and talking about his life. He has autism, uh, but he has the challenges and the things that he have overcome and the things that he is doing now are just awesome. And so I wanted everyone to hear about it. So if you know some people with autism or parents of children with autism, as I said in my post on Facebook, ask them to tune in and to listen, to be encouraged, educated some, because though we go through some of the challenges, we don't know everything about everything. And one of the biggest examples with that was so funny to me was when I did a twin show, and I thought twins were just twins. And one set of twins, well, both set of twins were excited about talking to each other, which was so funny to me because I just thought twins were twins, and that's what they do. But nevertheless, we can all learn as long as we're here on earth. So I am going to bring on with me Mr. Antonio Myers. Let's see, Antonio. I'm not as good as technical as you are. How are you, Antonio?
I am filled with beaming excitement right now.
Good. I'm glad you're excited because I'm excited too. And you ought to be tired because you're telling me this is the second interview of today. Not everybody can say that, huh? Who was your first interview with today?
Sean Connors, he's also on Clubhouse.
Okay, I think I've seen Sean. I think I've seen some of the things on Clubhouse. I'm trying to remember. But anyway, we're not talking about Sean. We're talking about you tonight. So let's see. Let's start out. Where do you live? And where were you born? Any brothers and sisters and all that good stuff? Let's get that stuff out of the way first.
I'm a native Washingtonian. I'm a current DC resident, and I am the second of two children, older brother, and I love where I live. I love the multicultural hub that we have become. and I'm a downtown person.
Downtown DC?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. You do love it. Now I love the area, but I was living in Maryland, so I don't know about downtown. I worked downtown DC, and one of my co-workers, Cheryl, is actually that. It's been some years, but at 15th and K, I think, is a building that I worked in at that time, but I think they've moved it since then. So working down there was okay. Living down there is a whole nother thing, but because see, when things happen to at the White House, you have to, everything that's around you. I can't tell you the number of times that we had to, we were, I guess you call it lockdown or something, or we had to leave because there was a threat and we were so close to the White House. So hopefully you're not too close that you're not under the same threats that they are.
No, no.
Okay.
About 20 minutes from the White House,
Oh,
and I'm glad that I can step out my front door, not be bombarded with paparazzi and
yeah.
security.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's good. And if you like it, that's all that matters because there is a lot to do. I mean, between DC, Maryland, you could take the train up to New York, which I have a son up there, and then Philadelphia, Virginia. It's stuff all around there. It's enough to do in
Amtrak.
DC. Yeah, yeah, Amtrak. That was my friend for a little while up there. So yeah, it was good. And I always say the funny thing about DC is you can walk by a famous building and not know it's a famous building because they're all
Yes, because there's a plethora of famous buildings.
yes. And you're walking by, and all of a sudden you look up and you're like, oh, that's the Museum of Science or whatever the case may be. It's like, okay, very unassuming, just another brick building.
And
So
I've been to pretty much every historical landmark museum you can think of too.
get out. Really? Oh,
Yes,
so how long have you been there?
since 1993 when I was born.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, so you were born there. Okay, okay. So yeah, that's basically home then. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So tell us about you, Antonio. Now, we're talking because, you have, autism, or you've been living with autism, and you had a different twist on it, kind of, that being black with autism what is something else to deal with. And I don't know, have you met Gerald on Clubhouse, the older guy? He has CP. And
Yes.
if you've met him, because he talks, and he talks a lot about being black and having a disability. So tell us some about your story. Why is that? What's different than just a white guy having autism, or a Hispanic guy?
Well, let's see. I was living in Leesburg, Florida for 3.5 years, went to Beacon College, the school's, the nation's only 4-year institution for students with learning differences.
Mm,
And I had to witness Confederate symbols. I had to witness Obama being the mascot for sin.
mm.
I
Wow,
had to witness racial slurs being used against me in moving cars. I had to witness going to church, and I was the only black person they ever interacted with. And
wow.
they were telling me how shameful they felt for never interacting with black people
Mm,
before me.
wow.
And I would see white guys waving their um, guns in the air, their rifles, screaming, "All hail the Confederacy," waving the flag in the air. And I'm trying to go to class, and I'm a freshman.
Wow.
And one church lady who's white said she wishes Obama was lynched.
She said that to you. Wow.
And then it was strange going to church and hearing them talk about how beautiful Fox News is and believing everything they sing. They'll get their news from Fox News. And it was GOP promoting
Hmm.
how Republicans are virtuous and these Democrats
Mm.
are of the devil, those kind of things during Sunday school. Another incident was they didn't know who Kirk Franklin was. Kirk Franklin goes to your church.
Right, 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 right. Yeah, yeah.
And they were like, oh, we don't know who he is. But I knew all who the white gospel groups and acts
Right.
were because I listened to them. They're like, who's Kirk? And I was stunned. So I had to deal with those kind of
Mm,
shenanigans.
mm,
And
mm.
one guy, last part of the story was one guy pulled up on me and asked me, well, we're looking for a young black male with a hoodie. Do you know him? So
Whoa, whoa. Was your mom ready to come down there and get him?
she felt it. Yeah. And then another time, oh, I just remember one, I was hanging out with a classmate of mine, met
Mm-hmm.
his parents, and his parents asked him behind my back, what you doing with that N?
Wow. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. See, now, that happened to me one time in Maryland. We were at and this has nothing to do with your story, but we were at you know what a Dave and Buster's is? Well, at a Dave and Buster's, and I had left. We were sitting in the bar area for some reason. I had left Jarius there, and he was talking to a young boy. You know that was there. They were both sitting there, and um, when the father came back and sat down, he asked his son, "What are you doing talking to that, Ian?" Mm, mm, mm. I was so glad that I loved the Lord because I was livid. I was I, I just and this day and time it just you forget and you think, oh well, because see, you're young, you were born in 93, you're not that old. And for them to what was the name of the college? I'm sorry.
Beacon College.
Beacon College. Now, see, I learned something. I didn't know that there was a college that you know for children with learning disabilities or people with learning disabilities. So you taught me something tonight already. But nonetheless, yeah, this guy said that, and I'm just like, man, that's how children get poisoned by their parents, decisions, actions, or whatever. But I guess I'm a little surprised relative to the church talking so much politics inside the church because they're supposed to be nonprofit and nonpartisan. And they're not supposed to be doing that inside the church like that. But I guess, there's something I don't know, or they got friends I don't know, or something. Because that,
And
yeah, go
and they
ahead.
made a racist assumption that, well, DC's always that murder capital.
Mm,
Then
wow.
when they saw me look at them, they're like, "Oh, but and they changed their tune. Oh, we're so sorry. We're sorry. We're really sorry." Getting very seemingly apologetic.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. But you could feel the sentiment behind it.
Yeah, majorly.
Okay. So you went to college. Now, do you finish there or did you move on or what happened? What did you go for when you were in college? What did
Bachelor's Human Services
Okay.
was the major, and I minored in psychology, and I graduated in 3.5 years.
Oh, excuse me. Some of us have to take 4, okay? Look,
I was the first in my family to graduate under 4 years.
really? Well, congratulations. Wow. I- okay. So, human service and psychology. Yeah, so what are you doing with that now? Are you doing anything with that or what's going on? And just, I'm in awe. Congratulations.
Thank you. Well, I actually submitted my book, very first one, my all my manuscripts. My spiritual mom is helping me publish it under her publishing division, and it's in the editing phase. And I'm just sharing my testimony via book.
I'm about to just cut you out because I'm about to be jealous of you. You doing all you just about, look, you just about making me sick, Antonio. Your first book. Mine's
And
in the computer. That's where mine's. Congratulations! Wow. Good grief. Well, that's wonderful. And it's your testimony. Do you have a title yet, or have you come up with the title yet?
it's a pleasant surprise.
Okay, okay. Well, you'll have to let us. I know you'll let everybody know when it comes out, and maybe we'll have you back to talk about your book. When it happened in that whole journey, because I'm sure.
Yes,
When did you decide you wanted to write the book?
January, when I
Oh,
just started writing it because I felt, well, I have all this downtime thanks to COVID. Might as well put it to good use.
see, yeah, that's when I started doing this show. Was during COVID, so now I don't have to feel so bad. I did something. It wasn't write my book, finish my book, but I did something. That is cool. So that's exciting. So you think it'll be out before the end of the year?
Yes.
You think so? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
cool. Great, great. Okay, so what next? I got to get jealous about.
I'm also a podcast host myself.
Okay, and the name of your podcast is
Tonio Time Daily.
Tony
Tonio
Tonio. Oh,
Time
Tonio.
Daily.
Tonio Time Daily. Let's see if I put that right. Daily. And are you on all the stations and things now? On where are you? Are you on uh iTunes, Spotify, all those places?
I am on Apple.
Apple? Okay.
I'm on Spotify,
Okay.
iHeartRadio,
Okay. Well,
Pandora.
my face is freezing, so I hope you can still hear me.
I can. Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. My face can stay frozen. It doesn't matter. Yours is moving, so that's all we have to worry about.
Come on,
Okay.
I.
See, last week I didn't have any sound. I don't. We moved the router in our place, and I think that has something to do with it. I don't know.
And now I see that it
It's moving.
hurried you up and it froze again.
Yeah, it's moving sporadically. I don't know what's going on, but as long as we see you and we can hear you, that's what's most important. So, how many times a week do you do your podcast?
That every day. That's why I put daily in my show title.
Wow, every
Mm-hmm.
day.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's a lot. You mean like 5 days a week or 7 days a week?
7.
Wow, Antonio, that's a lot, dude. That's a lot.
I have plenty of time.
I know, but still, that's a lot. Look, I do this once a week, and I'm trying to get it together. I'm just in awe of you. You are just, doing everything. You know what? I don't know what's wrong with this thing. It's doing some funny stuff. Okay. Look, I just, Lord Jesus. Okay, so back to you. Okay, we got the book, we got the podcast. Anything else you want to tell us about? I'm listening.
I like to give disclaimers.
Okay.
Basically, my podcast is of the adult persuasion.
Oh, okay. So children can't listen to it.
Precisely.
Okay. Okay. I don't know if I want to ask what it's about. I might just let them go see Tony up Times Daily. So, so you do this. And what time of the day is this?
By 11 a.m. East Coast time, that's when I publish.
Okay. Okay. So you do it and then you publish it. It's not like live. When you,
Right.
okay, great, great. Okay. All right. I understand now. I understand. So, but you've been active on Clubhouse quite a bit too, huh?
Yes, I have a
Okay.
club on Clubhouse called Neurodiversity.
Yeah.
It's Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 2 o'clock East Coast time and
Sure.
3:30 p.m.
So
East Coast time.
tell us about neurodiversity. What's that word mean?
Basically, neurodiversity is seeing autism as a positive
Mm.
instead of as a curse.
Mm,
Like you have different personalities, different ice cream flavors, different
right.
brains.
Yeah. Hmm.
That's how it works.
And you talk about that. Do you find people understand it and accept it, or do you have resistance, or what are you feeling?
More people are accepting of it, actually.
Okay, good, good, good. Is it you see, are people of color accepting, or you think
Yes,
all are? Yeah. Okay.
people
Okay,
of
cool.
color and all racial demographics are accepting too.
Mm-hmm. And different, well, and you don't just talk about autism, do you? You talk about disabilities in general, or
Yes. Yeah, pretty much every diagnosis.
yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. That's pretty cool. You just move it on up. You be the star. Now, I didn't ask you about your big brother. Or now, do you beat him up, or what is what is
Uh,
his role in all of this?
he's in Virginia, and
Okay,
he's living his own life. I don't see him.
okay, okay. But you're outdoing him, huh?
Yes.
See, I know the competition is there. The competition is there. And audience, I apologize for my frozen screen, especially with that face it got on it, but I don't know what's happening in my system. We're trying to, uh, I just don't know, but it's okay. I apologize, but it is what it is. So what would you say to young people who may be listening, who may be dealing with autism, or parents of children with autism? What guidance would you give them?
I would give them the guidance of wise counsel
Mm,
and experts who are loving.
mm.
I would also give them a solid group of friends and solid family members who love and care.
Oh wow, yeah, yeah. That's you put all that in a nutshell. That support and that team around them have to be ones who understand and who care and want the best for the person, and uh, and not so much an enabler, but like I always tell people, I tried to treat my son as much as, I mean, just like I treated my other son. I just, I had high expectations for him, and, just pushed him to be everything he could be and tried to identify what some of those things were. And it wasn't just sit and say, oh, he has this diagnosis and, whatever, whatever. But, he's a young man or he's a little boy or whatever. And we just push forward to make sure. And I have
Mm.
you are amazing. I am just so impressed with all that you're doing, and you haven't allowed the challenge of autism to be negative at all for you. And I think that's you've accomplished more than a lot of adults who don't have that diagnosis. Maybe we have something else, but not that. But yeah, you've accomplished so much in your young life. In your young life, that's amazing. That's amazing. So you had good support and people around you, I guess.
Yes. They
Okay.
didn't give up on me. And I would not have given up on myself either way.
Yeah. Now to go back to your college, were your professors in school caring and understanding?
Yes, I
Oh.
would say so. We had learning um, professionals,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
learning specialists who helped us out, tutors. We had a writing center,
Okay. Oh,
individualized attention.
great. Oh wow. I'm gonna have to read up on the college because I had not heard of the college before. That's great. That is great. So, well, Mr. Myers, what's upcoming that you need to tell us about so we can't miss it? Anything upcoming with you?
Um,
You got your
the
book coming.
only thing I can mention is the book, but I would like
Okay.
to share my biography.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So
So
that go ahead.
I was born on Wednesday. I think it was September 16th, 1993.
Okay.
Yes, that's my birthday. 350 Howard University Hospital, Washington, D.C.
Mm,
At the age of 2, I was diagnosed with pervasive developmental disorder.
mm.
That was the autism diagnosis at the time. So they were, meaning DC public schools experts, were trying to figure out how am I going to end up, and they concluded that I was going to be a vegetable,
Wow.
a vegetative state, lifeless,
Wow.
and not amount to anything. And they thought I would never be able to talk.
Mm, mm.
So at the age of 3, my very first words were stop bullying my friend.
Get out of here.
Words of advocacy and caring for others were my very first words.
Mm,
So they were like, he's not talking to strangers, he's not talking. I didn't talk on their timetable, and
right.
I implying with my parents that I talk to strangers.
Mm.
So at the age of 4, suddenly I started talking. And so they reversed it from pervasive developmental disorder to high functioning autism. Yes, thank you
Oh.
for laughing. Because then at 4, also, they were successfully sued by my mom and dad
Mm,
and the experts who believed in me, the advocates with the servant's heart. They sued DC public schools because they're trying to use the Americans with Disabilities Act, ADA,
right.
the appropriate public education stance,
Mm-hmm.
to not pay for my private special education. But good news that they lost, and had to pay my private special education till I
Yes.
graduated high school. So
Mm-hmm.
now I'm a high school valedictorian, a college graduate, a world traveler, designated disability services provider, and I've done 2 commencement speeches, 14 and 23. Before the age of 30, I'm 27 now.
Wow. You know, man says one thing and God makes a joke out of it.
This is true, indeed.
Oh my God. Wow. And yeah, that's what Cheryl say. Look at God. See, they don't know and they didn't have the last say. Yeah. Yeah. That's what one of the comments was. Yeah.
I,
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
and I'm also an overcomer of severe childhood abuses of all kinds.
Mm,
Because
mm,
there's a correlation between disability and abuse.
mm-hmm.
And perpetrators will abuse children because they're special needs, and that's what was communicated to me by them.
Right.
And I grew up in a broken home,
Mm-hmm.
dysfunctional family, mental health challenges. There was so much trauma, victimization occurring,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to overcome disability discrimination and ableism,
Yeah. Yeah.
as well as trauma syndromes and orphan syndrome. My
Mm,
Christian grandma, who was helping me at the time without knowing it, how to handle the abuse, she gave me faith. So it's it's complex, just
yeah.
my life.
Yeah.
So that's why, to be honest, I tend to have an edgy podcast because my life has always been edgy.
Okay. I'm gonna have to listen to this edgy podcast, but I'm not gonna ask for an example tonight. Okay. I'll listen.
Okay.
I love, No, I'll wait. I'll listen.
And just give me feedback through IG.
Okay, yeah, I definitely will. I definitely will. So, but you've overcome so much. And do you have any friends or buddies that you help to do the same thing, or in just regular life, or you know, who may
Yeah.
not have a diagnosis?
Yes, I have a friend who's like a brother to me, Dale Dixon. We are in Clubhouse together,
Okay.
and we live nearby each other, and we always have our fun. And he has his Stevie Wonder, Public Enemy, and old school groups, and I'm always a part of it. He's co-moderator for my Clubhouse group. I've known him since I was a little child,
Cool.
and I also want to say that what helped me to overcome was life skills groups,
Mm-hmm.
trained professionals,
Mm-hmm.
therapy, and consulting with psychiatrists. So it's okay to get mental health treatment.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. And then that your part of your degree is in psychology. You had some of that, going for you. Is that part of why you got you psychology as part of your degree?
Yes, I have people skills and I'm curious about the human psyche as well.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Yeah. You're just over the top awesome, okay?
Thank you. I received that. I
Thank-
appreciate it.
yes, yes. You are over the top awesome.
And
Go ahead.
I've been to your church before.
Have you? Oh, cool.
Um, when the historical Bible commentary study Bible,
Uh-huh.
I was there.
Really?
Yes,
Oh, wow.
this was, and it was emotional for me because I saw Lois Evans, and oh man, I
Yeah.
had a hard time keeping it together because I didn't want that to happen, but it did.
Yeah. 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 Everybody, I think we all were praying for a miracle, but God chose to do something different, you know, and
Yeah,
it was very hard. It was very hard.
because Jonathan Evans, he had a point about two types of healing, eternal and temporal. The
Yeah.
eternal one, it's the truth. It's just woo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're human and we want it this way. Then God, it happens.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you heard his talk about when he was talking about how he realized he was telling God what to do when he wanted his mother to live. And God was like, how you going to tell me what to do? He has a nice, I can't remember if he did that at her funeral or
Yeah,
if it was one of the something. And the kids were just so brave as it was just amazing to see them, just to see them walk through the whole thing. I've never seen anything like that in my life. And just how they've been, and I know they have their moments and he has his moments, but to see them walk through that in public was just amazing to me. Yeah. And I've been knowing them since the kids were little, and one of his sister-in-laws was my prayer partner and friend. And
wow.
so I've seen them, and it's just like wow, wow.
Because the first time I went, it was August, and I was there to see Pastor John Jenkins preach.
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah. Because he came in, yeah, I was there that Sunday. He came in. Pastor usually goes on vacation in August, so he would have, guest speakers come in. And Jenkins from Glen Arden, yeah, was one of the, yeah, they came in. He's good too. I like him. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I was also thinking about how I'm amazed that I get to be a public figure because I didn't think I had anything to contribute.
Hmm.
I thought my ideas would be too racy for the world
Yeah,
because being black and autistic, I was afraid of. being called slurs and being dehumanized. But I think God uses the least of these to prove his points.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's his way of humbling us to number one, show that he can his greatness, that he can use anybody and anything, because he used animals in the Bible, right? So and rocks. So uh, we forget sometime in all of our brokenness and everything else that sometimes that's the best time that he can use us, is through those things. And that's one of the reasons, like I said, I do this show, because people go through things and sometimes they think they're the only ones going through a particular thing until they hear someone else talk about it. And
Right.
so that's what the show is all about, for people to talk about their things and encourage or educate or whatever the case may be, inspire someone else to do something. And that's just exactly why I do the show, with all of its hiccups.
Cause you, cause I remember when we were in a group. I think it was Kobe Martin who was sharing
Uh-huh. Yep, yep,
her
yep.
assault advocacy, and
Hmm.
when it was my turn, I remember you spoke up and said, "Don't be quiet about what happened when you were younger,"
Yeah.
and that's
Never.
what led to us being on the show because
Yeah.
you heard me
Yep.
and were like, "Come on the show." I was very touched.
Well, yes, because I want people who are brave enough to tell their story. It makes a difference. See, I think God designates things, and I think someone needs to hear your story. And whether it's through this medium or some other medium, I just want to be obedient and do what I'm supposed to do. So whoever's supposed to hear this story hears it. And he's not like, okay, Gloria, somebody was supposed to hear that and then you didn't do it. So that's like I said, that's just why I do the show. And regardless of the audience, because this stays up on YouTube and on Facebook. It's easier to see on YouTube because all of them together, but
Mm,
it'll be up there until whenever. And the subject matter, people will hopefully be able to go there, and when they key in a certain subject, maybe some of them will pop up. So that's the reason that I'm doing it, to help other people. And that's, I believe, God gives us experiences for us to go through to learn, but also for us to share and share how he got us through. See, your story is just amazing, because when people think about people with autism, every once in a while they may think, oh, well, they have one, the way I've heard people talk about it, they have one enhanced skill, like they may play the piano or they may do this or may do that. Well, you got about 10. So where does that go? So all those stereotypes, just don't ride. You have to see people for who they are. And that's why I was saying, people who have children with autism, they have all those questions, and they have doctors like you had that say, oh, they won't be this, oh, they won't be that, or they won't.
hmm
And there's any skepticism in the parent, then they begin to feel like the victim, and don't
hmm
advocate, and they enable the children, and poor baby this and poor baby that. And that's just not what they need. They need to be encouraged and pushed. And so that's what, and even though a lot of yours was through your self-determination and God giving his strength to you, it can come either way, or both ways, and so, it's very important. And I appreciate you being brave enough and having the courage to want to tell your story, because it's a great story. And I can't wait till the book comes out, and then we're going to see what else happens with that. Maybe I got an early interview before this star comes out, and
Thank you.
I put that out there. I put that out there. So, you have any closing words, sir, that you'd like to say to the audience, or anything you forgot to tell us about yourself?
I am a servant leader, and my optimism is boundless. I'm positive no matter what. And I must say that I am thankful to Miss Gloria for giving me the opportunity to bless you, the listeners. because I know during times like this, words such as inspiration and hope are on people's minds, and those are the most common descriptions that I receive about myself, and that it takes moral conviction to be able to overcome social rejection and harsh stigmas. And then there are people out there who love you, want to protect you, because I know that there are people out here who love you, want to protect me as well. So I'm blessed, and that's why I'm a blessing. Those are my closing remarks.
Before
Miss Glo- okay.
I'm coming back. Look, it's just this thing is just making me mad. That's why I'm trying to be. But see, now they don't even want to show me. So that's why I just took myself off. Look, there I am. Look, okay, shaking my head. I did that 2 minutes ago. But anyway, to the audience, I want to tell you thank you. And one of the things I do, Antonio, before all the guests, and Cheryl Edwards says, push, pray until something happens. Like, okay, well, that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to pray for you, and then I'm going to close out the show. Father God, I just thank you for this time. God, I thank you for this night. Man, God, I thank you for Antonio that you even allowed me to have this chance to have him tell him his story. What is such amazing. God, he's done more things than some of us who may not have the same diagnosis. But God, I just thank you for him. I thank you for his energy. I thank you for his wisdom. I thank you for his encouragement and all the things that he's doing. And may you just bless everywhere that he goes. May everything he touch turn to success. And we just look forward to seeing what you're going to do with him and what he's going to do for your glory. So God, just bless him, keep him in good health, and keep him encouraging people as he does. I just thank you, God. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
And so, audience, next week we are going to have two gentlemen, and they are awesome too. These are two young men who had been incarcerated, but they've come out, and their mindset and their direction is just awesome. And so next week, if you have anyone who have been incarcerated or have people incarcerated, and like, my brother recently was released, and I'm working with my sisters on how we can help him. But Shannon and Chris, you don't want to miss it next week. They are two gentlemen who were incarcerated, but they've come out and they are just awesome. And everybody is saying, thank you for sharing your story, Antonio. And so they've shared it with some of their people who have autism, and God bless you. So that just a comment from one of the things. And everybody, we love you. I'm sorry, I'm still, y'all see this, you see me moving fast, and I'm gonna stop apologizing because I'm gonna get off, and we're gonna solve this before next week. Antonio, have a good one, and I'll see you around on Clubhouse, and I'll go listen to your podcast and give you my opinion.
All right, Miss Glory. Thank you once
All
again.
right.
Take
Everybody
care.
have a good night. Bye-bye. I cannot believe